wanna see what's going on. Ride my vibe, baby.
Let me ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen, ride the vibe. Listen.
I wanna see what you've been on.
What's up, Game Changers, and welcome to the Game Changers Podcast. I'm your host, TJ, aka Mr. Game Changer, and I'm back with another episode of the Game Changers Podcast. This is episode 109, man, and welcome to all my new listeners. Welcome to all my current listeners that's listening right now. I appreciate y'all for listening to the pod, man. It's been a lot going on, and when I was making my list today of things I should talk about, it was some things that I had to cut out. Stephen A., you're definitely gonna get it once this whole NBA Finals thing is done and we're getting into the football season. And you with these takes, Stephen A., you're really baffling me. I'm flabbergasted. What's one of the words he used? I'm appalled. Okay, Stephen A., some of your takes egregious. Some of your takes, Stephen A. Smith, have been egregious, and we will talk about it at another time. But I don't like it. I don't like where you're heading. I don't like what you're trying to do when it comes to certain people, certain things. I just don't like it. So, when I was coming up with this list, it was a few things I had to take off of my list, including the Stephen A. But we got some great things set up for you guys today. And we just gonna get in here and we're gonna talk. And we really gonna be a game changer today. Shout out to all my game changers out there. I am a game changer, and I will change the game today with the conversations that we are having. Let's start with the NBA Finals. We're going to Game 7. OKC, Indiana Pacers, two small market teams. Before the NBA Finals happened, I had a whole bunch of outlets, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of commentators, sports commentators, talking about how this NBA Finals will be lackluster. This NBA Finals will be less than. Okay, you know that symbol, less than? This NBA Finals will be less than, probably the worst we've ever seen. I've heard takes like that. And I'm like, well, why are you guys saying that? In my head, that's the question I was really asking, because when I look at these two teams, they match well together. And that's why we're going to NBA Finals, because both teams have people to come off the bench and help them. Both teams have stars that can come out and get you 15, 20, 25 a night. I.e. Pascal Siakam, i.e. Jalen Williams, i.e. our MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Okay, so even the point guard Halliburton, he's been a little bit inconsistent for my taste, but he still has been playing well. Calf strain where? Okay, when we talk about last night, let me just go to his stats, because I really want to talk about this game. First quarter, it was pretty even. Second quarter is when it started to get uneven. And third quarter is when it got out of hand and OKC players are being taken out. Okay, that's just a whole broad synopsis of the game. But specifically, I do want to start with Halliburton, because there's multiple players, multiple people I could really touch on when it comes to this game, because Shai, oh my gosh, and I just want to say before I start, this NBA Finals has been a betting nightmare. Okay, I'm not gonna say I lost a whole bunch of money, but I lost some funds where I look at my phone and I be like, this is not supposed to be happening, but it's happening because these teams are so what do a lot of people like to use the word or the phrase equally yoked. Okay, so equally yoked in the aspect of you have players that match up well against each other. So as far as defensive matchups, even though sometimes, for an example, Jalen Williams will look like a super all-star caliber player when he's going against players on the Pacers on some games, but on other games, He had 16 this game. And that's okay, but that's not up to the standard where he's been having. So people like Neesmith and Shepard and Obi Toppin have been switched or had to guard Jalen Williams, but they have played well against him at times. So that's just what I mean by equally yoked. Things are they're even now, and it's 3-3, and that's all I'm saying. The teams are even, which is showing us right now that the series is even 3-3. Game 6, we got Halliburton with 14 points and 5 assists on 23 minutes. What sticks out to me about that stat line is not the 14 points, not the 5 assists, but the 23 minutes. Okay, if I go back and look, I'm pretty sure he has played more minutes in all these other finals games, let alone playoff games, for more than 23 minutes. Usually a star player plays over 25 minutes, and that's just a fact. Halliburton is the Pacers star, or one of the Pacers star, and he only played 23 minutes. Now, we know why he only played 23 minutes. It's for 2 reasons. And one has to do with the other. One couldn't happen without the other. So the blowout, him sitting out and getting out early couldn't have happened if they didn't go on to blow out OKC. So McConnell coming in, Obi Toppin coming in, Shepard coming in, Mathurin coming in, and those other guys like Neesmith, Siakam, and Nembhard, they all did their part, but this whole team did a great job in noticing that their point guard is hurt. Let's put aside that this game is do or die, win or go home. They knew that their point guard was not 100%. So what did they do? They went out and played their butts off, and they allowed their point guard to only play 23 minutes. 2 minutes less than the average of a superstar. And that's just my average. I don't know the average, but it's well over 25 minutes. And he only played 23 minutes. Shout out to the Pacers for doing that for their man. Siakam with only 16 points. This was a team game. Siakam 16. Naismith 10. Nembhard 17. Halliburton 14. Obi Toppin 20 points. 4 for 7 from 3-point line. Oh my gosh, Obi Toppin, he has been playing so well. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The way Obi Toppin been playing, and I'm not just saying this because it's the finals. I'm saying this because I seen Obi Toppin this whole playoffs, from the first to the second to the third to now. I've seen Obi Toppin play really well coming off the bench, playing his role, whether one series or one game where he has to score, to another series or another game where he doesn't. He just plays defense and gets rebounds. And he's also a energy type player, someone you could throw lobs to, someone you could pick and roll. He could go to the hole, or he could pop to the 3. I would want Obi Toppin on my team. I'm a Lakers fan. Y'all know that. I would want Obi Toppin on the Lakers. Obviously, definitely, if the Pacers win, they're not giving up Obi Toppin unless it's just like a crazy trade. But if Obi Toppin, I don't know if he is a free agent or not. If he is a free agent, they would be stupid not to keep him. If he's not a free agent, then I can see them possibly trading him for a higher caliber player. But Obi Toppin is a great energy person, a great basketball player, and honestly, not just the Lakers. If I want to broaden this conversation, it should be at least 5 other teams that are looking at this series like, we need Obi Toppin on our team. 4 for 7 for 3 in a winner go home game. I need that on my team. I'm sorry, I need that, especially from a 4 that can guard probably 3 through 5. So that's the 3, the 4, and the 5, and can shoot threes, and also can run the fast break, catch lobs. He's super athletic. Come on, bro. You need an Obi Toppin on your team. And then we got TJ McConnell, another person or type player you need on your team. Brings energy, brings passing, brings unexpected scoring. Now, I'm not saying unexpected like he can't score, but unexpected scoring in the fact that he had 12 points. Who on their betting sheet before this series has even started is putting TJ McConnell down for 12 points, bro? Not many people, but he comes out there, he plays hard, he plays defense. TJ McConnell. And this what should have happened the last game when they noticed, because I think they could have won. The Pacers could have won that last game. They could have won Game 5. But when they noticed Tyrese Halliburton was hurt, they should have put TJ McConnell back in the game, but they did not do that. They did it like when it was 6 minutes left, and the game, we knew the game was over. But bro, he had 12 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. 4 assists and 1 rebound away from a triple-double in the NBA Finals. I'm not talking about a regular game. I'm not talking about just any other playoff game. That's why this NBA Finals has been so great, because people have stepped up that we have not expected to step up. 4 assists and 1 rebound away from a triple-double in the NBA Finals. TJ McConnell, a 6 foot, I don't know if he's 6'1" or 6 foot, point guard coming off the bench in the NBA Finals doing that. He needs to be respected. Put some respect on his name, bro. He needs to be respected and acknowledged. TJ McConnell, man, I really would like to clap it up for you, because you not only did this, 4 assists and 1 rebounds away from a triple-double, you made the game entertaining. Not only this game, but last game. And the game before that, TJ McConnell has been showing up, and I have been entertained. For those of you out there who have been saying that this NBA Finals is underwhelming, or this NBA Finals was not going to be one of the greatest, it was going to be below the tier, or even worse than, let's say, what NBA Finals can I think of? The Milwaukee and the Phoenix NBA Finals that we seen. It was going to be something below that. You naysayers and critics, you're wrong. You're wrong. And that's just plain and simple. We're going to a game 7 with 2 low market teams, but 2 low market teams that have superstars on both sides. And I know, back to my Stephen A point where I started, I don't know how this superstar conversation came up, but in my eyes, Tyrese Halliburton, superstar. Siakam, superstar. Jalen Williams, superstar. I would love Jalen Williams on my team. Oh, what makes Jalen Williams a superstar? He can start at the 2 guard on any team in the NBA right now. All 32 teams. I don't care what you say. He's put up enough numbers. He's been consistent enough and efficient enough for me to say that. And I don't even need to say something about MVP. So we have 4 superstars playing in the NBA Finals. How is it not good? You tell me. And for my superstar point, I don't want you guys to argue with me, but talk to me. Let me know in the comment sections, under my Instagram, wherever, in YouTube, wherever. I want to have this conversation, especially on TikTok. TikTok been going heavy for me. I love all my people on TikTok. Trump just extended the TikTok for another 90 days. Yo, just a side note. I think he has to say that as a formality. TikTok is not going anywhere. TikTok is not being banned, is not being deleted from the App Store. I think he just has to say that just to feel like he's still in power and he's still controlling the situation of coming to some agreement with the TikTok owner. But I believe he has already come to that agreement. He's just saying this, oh, we're extended another 90 days for whatever reason. I don't know what that reason is. I'm just guesstimating, but TikTok isn't going anywhere. But please, let's have a real, a mature and authentic dialogue about what a superstar is, because I see four. And if you want to argue with me, you can. I may argue back depending on the person, but for the most part, I don't really argue with people like that online. So you can argue with your mama, okay? I see four superstars in this here NBA Finals, and that is why we are going to a Game 7. That's exactly why we're going to a Game 7. A calf injury, where? Who? Halliburton? Who? Come on, man. Come on. Hallie is playing his butt off. Siakam is playing his butt off. Jay Will, Shea playing their butt off. Now, just a couple people before I get off this topic that needs to play better. Chet Holmgren, you will get traded from this team if you do not show something in the NBA Finals that requires the OKC Thunder to keep you on their team. That's one person that needs to get better. And I'm not following all the sports channels because I try to listen to as much as I can, but still try to formulate my own opinion on things. But I'm not seeing enough rhetoric on the inconsistencies of certain players. Now, the reason I'm saying this because they got on my man Anthony Davis for not being consistent enough, and they was talking about that in the first round of the playoffs for the past few years. Now, I'm not saying these players that I'm about to name is on Anthony Davis level, but I think they should still be talked about, and their inconsistencies should be talked about just as much as Anthony Davis. Chet Holmgren, inconsistent. Who else? Lou Dort, inconsistent. I'm not saying they're on the same level as Anthony Davis. I'm just saying we should question this because these are small hindrances that can not allow your team to win the NBA championship. Lou Dort has not been consistent enough for me. Nembhard, I'm going to say that he stepped up with the 17-4, but he has not been consistent enough for me. His body language, I know what he can do, and I know what he's capable of. I've seen it. He's just not produced enough for me. Nembhard has not been consistent enough for me on the level that I think he can be at. Neesmith, not consistent enough for me. That's what I mean. TJ McConnell has been more consistent than a lot of these players that is called or being called better than him, or should be looked at as better than TJ McConnell. But they have not been consistent enough. So I think as sports commentators, I think as fellow game changers, right, we need to point out who is not being consistent enough, because that's what I don't like. Y'all dogpiled on Anthony Davis for years. And I get why he's a superstar. He can average 25 and 25, or let me not go too crazy. He could average 25 and 15 or 35 and 15. Cool. I know Anthony Davis is capable of that, but you wanted him to bring the ball up the court, guard Jokic full court, average 35 and 18, and then play the best defense in the world. And also you wanted him to play the 4 and the 5. You're asking so much of him, and all I'm asking for these players is just to be a little bit more consistent with maybe some shot making, maybe some rebounds, maybe some aggressive defense. Chet Holmgren, aggressive defense. Who else? Nimhart. Okay. Now Nimhart has been playing defense, but I was just using that as an example. It's really Chet with the defense that needs to play a little bit better. But as far as the defense, I'll give that its props. The defense overall in this series has been great. It's multiple criteria and areas where it's the reason why we are going to the game 7, but the main reason we're going to the game 7 is because we have superstars on both sides, and both of these teams are great teams, great enough to watch night in and night out in these NBA finals. I don't know where the television numbers are, but I know they're better than expected. I know that most of this NBA finals is better than expected, and it is for me. It exceeded my expectations, and on Sunday we are going to get a great game 7 in the NBA finals. So that's my synopsis of the game, man. Please, if you have not watched the game of the NBA finals, Sunday is the game to watch. If you're a real basketball fan, you've seen all of these games. But whether you're a real basketball fan or not, a girlfriend of a basketball fan, or you don't watch sports, period, listen, go watch the NBA finals on Sunday. It's gonna be great. I really enjoyed last night's game. It was electric. Siakam dunked on Jalen Williams. That was when I hopped out my seat. I was like, oh, it's getting real in here. Like, and I would, that's what I thank God I remember, because in the game, I'm like, bro, this environment in Indiana, and Indiana down the street, that's 15 minutes away from me. Indiana down the street. But that atmosphere in Indiana is crazy, yo. And I called it something. I think I forgot. What did I call it? Because it was so electric. It was so loud. I called it the Pacers Pit. So OKC, even though they not going back there, shoot, hey, you better watch out. Shoot, y'all gonna be in Indiana. Y'all gonna be in PP. The Pacers Pit. I know it sounds like PP, like, oh, you PPing, but like, I think that's a cool nickname for the arena, the Pacers Pit. Oh, y'all finna go to the PP? Maybe put a little bit of space in there. You see how I put a little bit of space in there so it don't sound crazy. Yo, y'all going to the PP? You see how the PP, not the PP, but y'all going to the PP? The Pacers Pit, dog. It get crazy in there. It's loud. It's electric. Yo, you don't want to play in a PP, yo. It's fresh. It's new, y'all. Think about it. Do y'all like the name? I don't know. I came up with the name during the game because chill, fo. I can see y'all looking at me now crazy like, T, that's a horrible name. Listen, it's the only name I thought of for real, y'all. But stand on sports. Shedeur Sanders reportedly got a speeding ticket for going about 101 miles per hour in the 60 miles per hour lane. And you probably asking me, why is this a big story, T? It's a big story because people are making it that way. So Colin Cowherd, and I'm not gonna say verbatim. I don't care about his straight words that he said, but I'm a paraphrase. He basically said, Shedeur Sanders, you made 2 mistakes for me. And he listed off the first mistake being the draft day room, and how he had like a wall with all his accolades on it. It was like a big extravagant room for draft day, which you would think that most people who believe that their number 1 draft picks have like extravagant like draft day parties. So I was a little confused on that. See, this is why I don't like to bring up racism, because like everything seems like it's race nowadays, but I don't want to bring it up to make it seem like I'm just adding to that, because that's what this sounds like. Some of the things these people are getting on these mics and saying, it sounds racist. Cause I'm like, the draft day room, like I'm pretty sure if you go back and look at people's first round draft day rooms, it looked nice. It looks really nice. So for you to say it was extravagant and too much, how can you differentiate that from just being super nice? How can you differentiate, oh, I'm just using him as example, Baker Mayfield with this nice draft day setup versus Shedeur Sanders? Instead of saying, oh, that's a nice room, you say, oh, that's too extravagant, that's too much. You get what I'm saying? It just comes off as a little racy. That's all I'm saying. So he said that first, and he said the second mistake is this speeding ticket. And you, as a lower tier, a fourth string quarterback, you cannot have these type of mistakes. Now, here's where the conversation lies. The conversation is really not on if it's bad or not. If Shedeur Sanders was speeding, of course it's bad. But I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Whether you're a football player or you're a teacher, I'm pretty sure plenty of people have sped before. I've been that fast before, but you feel me? I'm going to work. I'm really in the fast lane. I've been that fast before. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people have drove that fast before, but it sounds really semantic-y. Shedeur Sanders went over the speed limit. Oh, he's not fit to be the quarterback. Like, Colin, he basically said that this is strike two, and a quarterback to his caliber shouldn't have two strikes. And that's where the conversation lies. It's not the speeding. It's if you think Shedeur is this type of caliber quarterback or this type of caliber quarterback. Do you think he's a first rounder or is a fifth rounder? Obviously, he went in the fifth round, but that's a whole nother conversation. And I'll touch on it a little bit, because I don't think he should have went that low. I think he should have been drafted to the Steelers. He should have been drafted to the Browns or been drafted to the Giants. But these little semantic things, oh, he didn't come in prepared, I believe that's a lie. But it's going back to what we believe. Do we believe whether it doesn't matter where he went or not? Do we believe Shedeur Sanders is a first round quarterback? Do we believe Shedeur Sanders is a starting quarterback in the NFL? Mr. Game Changer, Tywan Hamilton Jr. believes Shedeur Sanders is a starting quarterback in the NFL. And it's going to be hard for anybody else to convince me otherwise. It's going to be really hard, especially with the OTAs and the training camp and those highlights and those stats that showed up. I think Shedeur was like 38 for 50 something, 70 something completion percentage, 9 touchdowns and 1 interception. It's going to be hard for you to try to convince me that Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco are better starting quarterbacks for the Cleveland Browns than Shedeur Sanders. I'm sorry. You cannot go. I don't need to watch the highlights, because I watched every single game that Shedeur has played at Colorado, and I watched most of them live. You cannot tell me that you watched those highlights and you can tell me that Joe Flacco, right now, 40-year-old Joe Flacco, and a Kenny Pickett that has bounced around the two teams before he got here, is better than Shedeur Sanders right now. You cannot, bro. You can't. And I'm sorry. I'm standing on that. So when these people come out and say, oh, this speeding thing is a big deal because him in the place he is, he should not be making no mistakes. He should be close to perfect to when he get this job because he needs it. He can't start over Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Dylan Gabriel. I didn't even bring up his name because I'm not going to disrespect Shedeur Sanders by bringing up his name. Hey, TJ, go check out his college stats, his college highlights too. I don't want to sound like I just don't have no information or I don't have the facts. I've seen the facts. I've listened to the facts. I've seen Gabriel highlights. I've seen old Joe Flacco highlights. I know what he did on the Ravens. I've seen Kenny Pickett highlights. Come on, y'all. But when they get down to it, in your heart of hearts, I'm just talking about the eye test. I'm not talking about these numbers. Y'all love to praise numbers, and I'm cool with numbers. But I'm talking about the eye test and what I truly believe and what I think y'all should believe. I know I shouldn't be trying to convince y'all, but this is probably going to be one of the only times I'm going to try to convince y'all that Shedeur Sanders is the real deal, and he will be. The Giants are going to regret not drafting Shedeur Sanders. The Steelers, even though they just got Aaron Rodgers, they will regret not drafting Shedeur Sanders unless they get excuse me. I think they're going to regret it for years to come, but that's if they don't get elite style quarterback within a trade or within the draft. Let's say one of those teams just happened to get Arch Manning or something like that. Then they won't regret it. But for the next 8 to 10 years, if they don't go anywhere and do nothing, these other two teams within the Giants and the Steelers, and don't get me started with the New Orleans Saints. Oh, let me add them to the list too. They're going to be sorry in the next 8 or 10 years if these three teams don't go nowhere, don't have no success. And I mean, that means getting to the playoffs. That's not just a winning season. That's getting to the playoffs and winning. If y'all don't do that and potentially getting into the Super Bowl, if y'all don't do that in the next 8 to 10 years, somebody in that organization is going to look in the mirror or think to themselves or say to a fellow coworker, yo, I think we should have went with Shedeur. Because in the next 8 to 10 years, I promise you, Shedeur is going to be elite. And Shedeur is probably going to be a top 5 selling jersey in the league. Shedeur Sanders is going to get endorsement deals. Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the... I don't want to make this type of statement, but I'm high on Shedeur Sanders. I was about to say Shedeur Sanders is going to be in the Super Bowl before any of those other teams, which could be true, but I don't want to make that type of prediction because that's a little crazy. I'm not that crazy. But I do think he is going to get to a Super Bowl in his career, maybe a couple, maybe 3. I don't know. But I do think he is a high caliber player, and he's better than the competition that the Browns are presenting. So all these other sports commentators that's talking down on Shedeur just because he has a speeding ticket, you're wrong. That's all I gotta say. You're wrong. Excuse me. But staying on sports. To keep this ball rolling, the Los Angeles Lakers have Jeannie Buss, and the LA Lakers have been sold to a majority leader who's also the owner of the LA Dodgers, Mark Walter, for $10 billion. Let me say that again. $10 billion. The Lakers are now worth $10 billion. That is the highest sports team in the nation right now. They're worth $10 billion. And I believe that they are worth that. This news broke and I was a little surprised. But when I read the specifics, Jeannie Buss and them are still going to be working close with the team. They just sold their majority stake. They still have about 17 to 18% ownership, but it's just the majority ownership is going to be owned by Mark Walter. That's a tongue twister for me, you guys, just to let y'all know. Mark Walter. There we go. I got it down now. Mark Walter is now the majority owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, and he is known to be a big spender. Okay? He's a billionaire. He's known to be a big spender. He went to get Ohtani for a crazy amount of number. Who's to say he doesn't go get Giannis? Who's to say he doesn't go to get what's his name? Jokic. Or whoever wants to come here for an exorbitant amount of money. So I'm pretty excited as a Lakers fan for this. Just to see what he does with the team. Just to see who he brings in, who he takes out. I don't think there's going to be too much change because Jeannie Buss, she's still partial owner, so I think she is going to have some say so, but I do think there are going to be smaller changes. I would be surprised if there was huge changes. And there's going to be, let me reel it back. There are going to be big changes because the offseason is coming up. LeBron is probably in his last 2 years, maybe last year, I don't know. It depends on LeBron. Luka just got here. We need to add some more pieces that is congruent to Luka, going back to that equally yoked with Luka. So there are going to be big changes, but astronomical changes, I doubt it. But if I see it, I would be surprised. But, it's definitely going to be some changes when it comes to the Lakers organization. And I'm super happy about this. So, it's good news. Good news for LA. I need some good news for my Lakers because when they lost to the Timberwolves, and now I see the finals that's happening right now, bro. It is a little frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to you because if we got past Minnesota, and let's say we play OKC in the conference finals, I don't think OKC is beating us. Literally. And I don't want to downplay this because like I just said a few topics ago that these two, Indiana, OKC, they match up well together. But neither of those teams match up well against the Lakers. Like the current roster of the Lakers, they don't match up well. So if we play OKC in the Western Conference Finals, we beat them. And then we going to play Indiana in the finals? Get him out of here. Get LeBron his 5th ring, but we just another matchup issue. It's this whole playoffs, and I said it before, it's a matchup thing. We did not match up well with Minnesota. Nas Reed was killing us. Rudy Gobert to end us off in Game 5 had 20 and 20. Like, we literally have no 5-man, even though we've been screaming at Rob Pelinka for years to get us a 5. Actually, that's one thing, even though he got Luka, I wouldn't be mad if Mark Walter fired Rob Pelinka. Get him out of there. We've been begging for a big man. And you trade Anthony Davis. I just want to let y'all know I'm not completely over that. And it might sound privileged. It might sound I don't know another word for it, but it just might sound a little arrogant. But at times, this is just how I feel. I don't really care that I got Luka. I love the LeBron and Anthony Davis tandem. All they needed was a 5. If we had a 5, a big man, and Anthony Davis on LeBron on that team and no Luka, we beat Minnesota. We beat OKC. We go to the finals. We beat the Pacers. I don't care. Argue with your mama. I strongly believe that because Anthony Davis is a elite player. Can go get you 35 and 18 at will. But you traded him and you went to go get Luka. I get you trying to think about the future, and I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Y'all, I'm happy Luka is on my team. But at the same time, in the same breath, I'm still upset about the Anthony Davis trade. Anthony Davis will be a Laker for life. We all know that. But I wanted him to be a Laker for life. That's it, man. That's it. That's all I'm really saying. But let's keep the ball rolling. We're gonna take it off of sports and we're gonna go to music. We're gonna talk about Pusha T's new single, or not Pusha T's, the Clips. So him and his brother Malice are coming out with an album in July, but they put out their single called So Be It. And in that single, Pusha T, he dissed Travis, not Travis Hunter. Look, I'm still on sports. Travis Scott, he dissed Travis Scott and basically was like, you was crying on my shoulder, this, that, and the third. And he dissed Travis Scott in this song, and he said why. And he just gave multiple reasons. But one of the main reasons is that he flip-flops. He's a bandwagoner in sense. Like, you can't stay on one side. Oh, you was egging on the beef for that Not Like Us when you was on stage with Future and Metro Boomin, but now you want to be on Drake's side. You gotta pick a side. And Pusha T, to me, I'm similar to Pusha T in this fact of morals matter to me. So when it comes to morals and things that we feel like is respect or disrespect, we take that serious. And that's what Pusha T is basically saying. Hey, you can't come over here and want to make music to me and not even be a rapper. You're not even a rapper. You're really a pop star. You can't come to me as a real rapper and then try to still be on that side with Drake. It's not happening. It's not happening. And I kind of get that because morally, like, for an example, I'm not going to say too much, but I have morals. And I notice certain people don't necessarily have the morals that I have. So, like, I kind of distance myself from them because it's like, nah, you ain't on the type of time and I'm on. I have morals. I don't say or do things that's gonna jeopardize another employee. You feel me? I don't spread lies. I don't talk mess. I'm not a gossiper. I don't do that. Okay? Anything that I say about you behind closed doors or to somebody else, I would say it to your face. And that's truthful. Anybody that I talk about, anything that I say about anybody, I'll say it to their face. Like, if I'm hooping with somebody or I'm talking to my man Jayla, oh, he trash. He can't guard me. I say that to my man, but the person who can't guard me, I say that to your face. Shorty, you can't guard me. You're trash. I'll say that to your face. So it's like Pusha T, it just seems like, I don't know Pusha T, but it just seems like from the interviews and from his rap, he has strong morals. And I mess with that. That's why I even like this single, So Be It. I wish I could play it, but I don't have a system right now for it. But I love the So Be It single. I loved it. The rapping is on there. I think this is the first time for me listening to Malice, his brother. They both can rap. But when it comes to beef time, when it comes to choosing a side, according to Pusha T, you have to choose a side. You cannot stand in the middle, and I'm with it. I think I said that before on this podcast. I'm not with being in the middle. I'm with choosing a side, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with being on what's on one side, and I'm the only one on this side. But I morally mess with this though. Now, in certain instances when other people are taking one side and you just on one side by yourself, in certain instances, you can just be wrong. Because, like, if you look at something and all the other people are choosing this and you the only one choosing this, like, why you on that side? Why? Oh, you just trying to be different. It's certain instances where it is a difference between you're just wrong and, oh, no, you're just sticking to what you feel like is morally right. Like, it's some cases where you could just be sitting on one side by yourself and be like, I'm over here. And you could just be trying to be different and you could just be wrong. But sometimes, and I believe this, even though 8 of those people are looking at me like, bro, you wrong for being over there, I can still look at those 8 people and be over here by myself and be like, I'm cool over here. And I know in my heart of hearts, all you people over there, y'all wrong. And I can prove that y'all wrong. I can stand on this side by myself and I know I'm right. It's just that morally, oh, you want to take that side because you want to keep your job. Oh, you want to take that side because, you don't want to lose no money. Oh, you want to take that side because you wanna be friends with that person. You wanna continue to be friends with that person, even though you know they doing wrong, even though you know they talking crazy about people that you care about, even though you know that they just wrong in general. You just want to stay on that side because it benefits you. And I think that's what Pusha T is saying, bro. And I truly feel that. So I'm on Pusha T side in this. And also he said Travis Scott can't, like, he don't rap. I've heard songs where Travis Scott has rapped on. But do I feel like Travis Scott is a rapper? No. Well, no, let me take that back. I'm not going to go extreme as Pusha T, but he is a rapper, but he's not a rapper, if that makes sense. Like, he makes rap songs without rapping. So I guess he's not a rapper. Let me take that back. I don't want to play both sides. Is Travis Scott a rapper? No. I don't really listen to Travis Scott because when he first came out, all I heard was screaming. He really like a hip hop heavy metal artist. I don't know. Let's create a different genre for him because he's not a rapper. I agree with Pusha T. I'm gonna stand on Pusha T's side. I'm on his side. I'm on the morally good side because I've heard Travis Scott songs. I like some of his songs, but for the majority of his catalog, I do not listen to because I like rap. I like R&B. I like most genres of music other than country music, but does Travis Scott scream rapper to me? No, he don't. And I think Pusha T comes from that cloth of writing down your raps, spitting bar for bar. I ain't got no ghostwriter. I rap all my raps. I come hard. A rap battle, I'm coming hard at you. Rap battle, rap back at me. Let's go bar for bar. Shoot, I'm with it all. I'm with all the smoke. I think he comes from I'm with all the smoke cloth, and I don't think Travis Scott comes from that. So, So Be It by Malice. That's a new single out right now. Y'all go check it out. And the last thing I really got to say is World War III. This is not a political podcast. This is sports and entertainment. But I do have to say this. We're in a time and place in our country where a lot of people, going back to my morals point, a lot of people's morals are out of whack and they're only thinking about themselves. Okay? And I get some people in the world that are in Trump's corner or, you know, around his cabinet are also thinking about their families because they look to the side and they seen Trump firing all these government officials and they don't want to be next because they have to protect and take care of their family. I completely understand that. But in the history books, it's not going to be like, oh, this person chose this. It's not going to show all the details. The broader view is gonna be who was on the side of right and who was on the side of wrong. This is a moral podcast. Let's talk about morals for a second. Who is on the right side of history and who is on the wrong side of history? And a lot of people are going to be on the wrong side of history if World War III starts. Iran shoot missiles at Israel. In my opinion, I don't want to say too much because some of my views can sound crazy. But in my opinion, I think Israel deserves some of this. Because if you see a video or a picture of Gaza before and after, it's crazy. They killed thousands of innocent people, Israel did. And now they're having conflict with Iran. And the USA is kind of getting into it. The Trump said he wasn't a part of the first attack, but he will be a part of the second, third, and fourth if they don't cooperate with me. And I think Trump is in the wrong. Where will you be in history? Will you be on the right side or the wrong side? Who did you vote for? Going to ICE. We just had the No Kings protests in cities all over America. With Trump sending ICE agents to just arrest random people on the streets that are considered immigrants. What side of history are you gonna be on? A lot of them Hispanics that are being taken away voted for Trump. I'm not only talking about politicians. I'm not only talking to my black people. I'm talking to my Hispanics. I'm talking to my whites. I'm talking to my Middle Easterns. I'm talking to my Asians. I'm talking to everybody that has connections to America, that has connections to the world, that has to deal with this World War III. What side of history are you going to be on? That's my only question. I'm not finna do a deep dive in this whole World War III because Lord knows I can. But like I said, this is not a political podcast. What side of history will you be on? Right or wrong? That's it, man. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. Appreciate y'all for listening. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Go follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Game Changers Podcast with a Z. And one of the most important things in this world is to try to help others, because a little bit of inspiration, y'all, just a little bit, it can go a long way, man. Mr. Game Changer, another episode down. I'm out of here. Peace.